Who inspired you when you were growing up?
Who inspired me? My father, my brother, because they were artists, so I was around them a lot.
The internet is on fire after leaked footage from 50 Cent's upcoming documentary about T.I. started spreading everywhere online. The clips are already stirring up major drama around the Harris family, and people can't stop talking about it. In one moment that's blowing up across social media, T.I.'s wife, Tameka, Tiny Harris, appears emotional while reacting to scenes that could put T.I. in a very serious spotlight.
T.I. did a great job, but he be perpetrating him in the ass, he gonna go crying.
Fans are replaying every second, trying to figure out what it all means and why this footage is causing so much noise. Public story, emotional reactions to possible legal trouble. The conversation keeps getting bigger by the hour. Then this footage, and why is everyone suddenly watching the Harris family so closely, sending shockwaves through their world?
50 Cent said he not hopping in the booth, but he might be hopping in the studio, the filming studio. Y'all, 50 Cent has done another post and delete where he is making claims that he is about to do a documentary on T.I. and Tiny about the previous SA allegations that they had against him.
Accusations and legal complaints that several women have raised against the well-known couple over the past few years is what really caught people's attention.
Now, I figured that this was coming because when he first started making his post about them, I saw Sabrina in his comments and she was saying something about all of the victims and thank you for speaking up for the victims. Then Tasha K reported a few days ago that somebody from his camp reached out to her and said that he is possibly working on this documentary and about to expose T.I. and all of his family about everything that was going on.
Referencing the Netflix series about Sean Combs that he executive produced, Sean Combs, The Reckoning, he wrote, "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc? Dame thought I wasn't coming. I hope this doesn't mess up your promo tour. They're gonna ask about your 20 cases. You might want to talk to a crisis PR person." The post instantly sparked debate online, with fans wondering just how deep this documentary might go.
Y'all, how do we feel about this? Because at this point, if you don't want to hop in the booth, if you don't want to do a rap battle, cool. But every time somebody goes at you, now you're going to do a documentary on them to try to destroy their whole legacy because y'all are having a disagreement.
That post from 50 Cent wasn't just a random comment online. It was packed with meaning, and people immediately started breaking it down piece by piece. First off, 50 Cent actually served as an executive producer on the Netflix docuseries Sean Combs, The Reckoning. That series looked closely at the many accusations and legal complaints that surrounded Diddy. The four-part project walked viewers through Combs' life story and the wave of serious legal claims that later followed him. So when 50 wrote, "Remember how quiet I got before the Diddy doc?" he was clearly sending a message to T.I., almost like a warning that the same kind of public storm could hit him too.
I don't know. I really just don't think I agree with this one. I understand the whole Diddy thing was a really big movement, and I understand people are going to say the victims in this T.I. situation are the alleged victims. However, none of these cases have stood up.
Then there's the second part of the message, the line about T.I.'s promo tour. That wasn't random either. 50 Cent was pointing straight at the rollout of T.I.'s upcoming final album, Kill the King. Right now, the buzz around that project is huge. T.I.'s single, Let Him Know, is already one of the early hits of 2026, and the track from his retirement album is currently sitting at #1 at Urban Radio, while also climbing charts across platforms, from Instagram trends to Billboard rankings. In other words, the momentum around T.I.'s music is massive right now. But here's the part that really turned heads. 50 Cent also pointed out 20 different legal cases connected to serious accusations. Along with his message, he shared a screenshot of a headline claiming he was developing a documentary about the married couple who have faced controversial claims from more than 30 women over the past few years. Those accusations have been following T.I. and Tiny since 2021, and the details behind those claims are a big reason people believe this documentary could explode into a huge conversation.
Nobody has actually made it to court. Sabrina actually owed T.I. no money, so I'm really not understanding why she is still commenting about this.
Not long after it went up, the Instagram post suddenly disappeared, but by that point, it was already too late. According to Ice Cream Convos, screenshots of the post had already started spreading all over social media. And when it comes to the internet, once screenshots start circulating, the conversation takes on its own life. That's the thing about 50 Cent. Even if he deletes something, people have already saved it, reposted it, and shared it everywhere. Online, nothing really disappears. Now, some people think this could just be 50 Cent stirring the pot again. He's known for teasing big projects or dropping bold hints that instantly grab attention. But others say these comments hit differently because 50 recently worked on a major documentary involving someone he publicly clashed with before.
How do you feel about the whole 50 T.I. and T.I.'s family, the whole situation?
I think it's social media entertaining. That's why I don't really think too much about it, honestly.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it's all funny games till it ain't funny games, but that's it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because of that history, fans are wondering if there might actually be something serious in the works behind the scenes. At the same time, the rumors didn't stop there. More voices online started adding fuel to the situation with speculation and unconfirmed gossip. One of those voices was blogger Tasha K, who jumped on Twitter claiming she had spoken with alleged sources connected to the G-Unit mogul 50 Cent's team. According to her posts, those sources suggested that a documentary about the Georgia couple could be in development. The claims she mentioned pointed toward long-standing controversies and legal disputes involving the pair. However, there is no official confirmation from either side about any documentary being produced.
Yo, stay off the streets because the unks are fighting. What's popping, y'all? For Complex, I'm Jordan Rhodes, and 50 Cent and T.I. are going back and forth on the timeline like in 2003. Let me explain to you how we got here. So T.I.'s been wanting to have a versus battle with 50 Cent for a minute now. He first challenged him in 2020, then challenged him again in 2021. But he revealed this week on the Gillian Wallow podcast that when he challenged 50, they had spoken about it behind the scenes, and 50 was supposed to accept his challenge, have the verses so that they could celebrate each other's catalogs.
It's also worth remembering that Tasha K has faced criticism before for online claims, including a well-known defamation case involving Cardi B. Even so, the internet quickly ran with the story, and the post reignited discussion about the couple's past controversies and legal issues that reportedly date back from 2005 to 2015. The chatter online only keeps getting louder. So how did T.I. respond when all this talk about a documentary started spreading online? The Atlanta rapper hasn't jumped into any diss tracks aimed at his critics, but he did address the situation directly. In an Instagram post, T.I. brushed off the documentary rumors and pushed back at the people talking about him. He wrote, "We can go bar for bar, hit for hit, or doc for doc. Either way, all you gonna do is show how much of a fan you is."
Okay, so first, it was really about celebrating each other's catalog. Me and this nigga talk back there, bro. This shit, I ain't just called a nigga out the blue. Me and this nigga talk back there.
You talk about you were 50?
Yeah, man, we talk about this shit, man. This shit just come out of nowhere.
The message made it clear that he wasn't backing down from the conversation. At the same time, T.I. continues to insist that the accusations connected to his name are not true. From his point of view, the idea of a documentary like this isn't about finding the truth. He believes it's more about grabbing attention and staying in the headlines. That's the stance he shared publicly. But to really understand how this situation even reached this level, you have to rewind the clock a bit. The tension between T.I. and 50 Cent actually goes way back, all the way to 2006, when both rappers were dominating the music world.
But when T.I. jumped out to challenge him, 50 didn't say anything, which offended T.I., obviously. So then fast forward to now, T.I. is spinning the block, challenging 50 again, and 50 is doing the same thing, ignoring.
During that time, 50 Cent was ruling the charts with the massive success of Get Rich or Die Trying, while T.I. was helping push Atlanta into the spotlight with projects like Trap Music and Urban Legend. Their rivalry wasn't always direct at first. It reflected a bigger regional competition between New York City and Atlanta, two cities battling for hip-hop dominance. But the rivalry started getting more personal around 2007, when 50 Cent publicly labeled T.I. a snitch. That moment sparked years of tension between the two artists. Since then, they've exchanged plenty of public jabs and even teased the idea of a versus battle that never actually happened.
So then T.I. dropped War, a subtle diss track that never named 50, but was really poking him, trying to get him to jump out and finally challenge him. But 50 didn't do that. Instead,
the Snitch label kept popping up in conversations about T.I., and 50 Cent later added more fuel by sharing older footage from 2008, including clips tied to T.I.'s Crime Stoppers commercial and courtroom moments. That history is a big reason why their feud still grabs attention today. T.I.'s past interactions with law enforcement have been discussed publicly for years, especially connected to an old federal weapons case. Because of that history, 50 Cent has repeatedly brought it up whenever their rivalry heats up. The topic has been part of their back and forth for a long time, often popping up whenever the two artists take shots at each other online. For a while, the tension between 50 Cent and T.I. stayed at a low simmer without any direct showdown.
He took to Instagram and posted an unflattering photo of T.I.'s wife, Tiny. Now, T.I. did not take that too lightly, and neither did his youngest son, King Harris.
Then, everything started heating up again during the rise of Versus, the live stream battle platform that became a huge cultural moment during the pandemic. In 2020, T.I. publicly challenged 50 Cent to a 20-song Versus, even tying the idea to his 45th birthday and framing it as a major regional clash. But 50 responded on Instagram in a joking way and never accepted the challenge. The matchup fans were hoping for never actually happened. The idea didn't disappear, though. In 2021, T.I. brought it up again during the Atlanta premiere of BMF, a series connected to 50 Cent. Standing in front of a hometown crowd, he once again pushed for the musical showdown, keeping the conversation alive and the rivalry buzzing.
To Instagram and disrespected 50 Cent's late mother, which of course 50 shrugged off and just responded with a meme on Instagram.
Then, fast forward to 2026, and suddenly the whole situation exploded again. In early February, during an appearance on the Nightcap podcast, T.I. claimed the two artists had actually talked privately and agreed to do a versus battle at one point. According to him, once the news got public, 50 Cent acted like the conversation never happened. T.I. continued sharing his side of the story during a February 22 appearance on $1 Million Worth of Game. There, he revisited the alleged phone call and said he was no longer interested in sharing the stage. By that point, the tension had already boiled over, with both sides throwing comments and accusations as the long-running rivalry took another dramatic turn. That's the moment when things stopped looking like a simple rap rivalry and started feeling much more personal.
But then, yesterday, T.I. dropped a second diss track called The Right One, which is much more direct towards 50, basically saying he has Twitter fingers, he's a small man in a big shell, and that he does not want any smoke with the king of the South.
The tension took a sharp turn when 50 Cent brought T.I.'s wife, Tameka "Tiny" Harris, into the conversation. On the same day the back and forth was heating up, 50 posted an unflattering image of Tiny on Instagram, pushing the situation beyond music competition and straight into family territory. Not long after, he also shared photos that included Tiny and T.I.'s son, King Harris. One of the posts carried the caption, "I keep saying keep my name out your mouth." In another post, he shared a meme of Tiny and King with the caption, "God don't like ugly." Those posts quickly spread across social media and instantly raised the temperature of the feud. Many people saw them as deliberate moves meant to provoke a strong reaction. And that reaction came fast. Instead of just T.I. responding, King Harris stepped into the situation himself only hours later.
Now, 50 Cent has not responded directly to T.I. He's still just posting memes, but it feels like we might be ramping up to getting closer to an actual versus between T.I. and 50 Cent that you could watch the pre-show with me and Ebro talking about if it were to happen. But look, let me know who you think would win in the versus between T.I. and 50 Cent in the comments down below. And if you think 50 Cent is going to respond to T.I. at all, all right?
The 21-year-old went live on Instagram and delivered a heated message aimed straight at 50 Cent. The live stream quickly caught attention online as clips began circulating across different platforms. During the rant, King strongly defended his mother and addressed the posts directly. He also referenced 50 Cent's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who tragically passed away in a house fire back in 1983. In the emotional response, King told 50 that instead of bringing his mom into the feud, he should focus on his own family history. The moment added even more intensity to an already explosive situation, and the internet immediately lit up with reactions. King Harris didn't stop with the live stream. Soon after, he went back to Instagram and shared posts aimed directly at 50 Cent, including images referencing 50's late mother. One post showed a picture of a tombstone, and King captioned it, "This is where your mama at." The message quickly spread online, and people immediately began debating whether the situation had gone way too far. But King wasn't done speaking his mind. On February 24, he also took shots at 50 Cent through music by releasing a new track called Made Man. In the song, he called out the hip-hop mogul for bringing his mother into the feud and made it clear he wasn't going to tolerate any disrespect toward his family. The track added even more attention to the already heated situation. And King wasn't the only member of the Harris family stepping into the spotlight. T.I.'s other son, Damani Harris, also jumped into the conflict through music. Damani released 2 diss tracks aimed at 50 Cent, including one that sampled Outkast's classic Miss Jackson. With both brothers now involved, the feud started turning into a full family response on. Soon, the situation escalated even further when T.I. himself joined in. The father and son trio, T.I., King, and Damani, ended up dropping multiple diss tracks, flooding social media timelines throughout February. One of the most talked about songs was The Right One, along with tracks like War Lessons and What Bully. Each release carried sharp lines aimed at 50 Cent, keeping the rivalry trending online. But through all of this noise, 50 Cent took a different approach. Despite the wave of diss songs coming his way, he never responded with a track of his own. Instead of jumping into the booth to record a diss track, 50 Cent took the battle straight to Instagram. The rap mogul started reposting clips connected to T.I.'s past legal issues, sharing memes, and posting photos that mentioned Tiny. His strategy was clear: keep the conversation going online without dropping a single song.
And not to be emotional. And when I see King, how he moving, it's emotional, and I know, and me too, you know what I'm saying? Me too. You know, you drag the matriarch of our household into some nonsense. So
In one post, 50 Cent joked that he didn't even need to respond with music. He hinted that the others were simply trying to grab attention. At one point, he even posted a fake award certificate on Instagram as part of the trolling. Alongside the image, he wrote a sarcastic caption suggesting the award was for older rappers still trying to battle rap online. The post also included the line, "GPT told me that. I don't need me to rap. You need me to rap." The message was pure internet-style trolling, and fans immediately started sharing it across social media. When it came to King Harris's comments, 50 Cent mostly laughed them off. In one of his Instagram posts, he simply shared a well-known cartoon frog meme and left a short caption, brushing off the situation like it wasn't bothering him at all. But despite the humor, the tension surrounding the feud kept growing. Things escalated again when King went live on social media and delivered an emotional rant aimed at 50 Cent and his family history. During the live stream, he referenced 50's late mother, Sabrina Jackson, who passed away when the rapper was just 8 years old. The comments quickly sparked debate online, with many people saying the feud had crossed a serious line. At one point, King even appeared wearing a t-shirt featuring Sabrina Jackson's image, which drew strong reactions from viewers. The moment became so intense that T.I. himself stepped in publicly. During a conversation on Laura Rosenberg's show, the Atlanta rapper spoke about the situation and admitted the exchange had gone too far. T.I. explained that he had spent years trying to guide his son away from drama and conflict. Referring to the moment involving the shirt, he said he had to draw a firm line. As he put it during the interview, I said, "That's enough." The comment showed that even in the middle of the feud, T.I. wanted to calm things down before things spiraled even further. When I saw that t-shirt, the Atlanta rapper explained, reflecting on the moment the situation went too far. Even so, T.I. also admitted he felt proud of how his son stepped up to defend their mother. Speaking about the situation, he emphasized that family loyalty mattered most to him. He said, The one thing that I'm proud of is that the women and children in our families see that it's a line of men that's here against whoever. The message was clear. In his eyes, protecting family always comes first. T.I. continued by explaining how seriously he takes that responsibility. "I'm here to defend. I'm here to protect what's ours," he said, making it clear that family unity is something he stands on strongly. His comments showed both sides of the moment, pride in his sons for speaking up, but also concern about how far the conflict had gone. Interestingly, Tameka "Tiny" Harris has remained completely silent during all of this, at least publicly. While T.I. and his sons were trading responses and the online feud kept growing, Tiny chose not to release any public statements about the conflict with 50 Cent or the heated reactions involving her family. That silence has definitely caught people's attention, especially considering how loud the conversation has become online. Now this brings us to another major part of the story, the controversies and accusations that some believe could be discussed in a possible documentary. These claims first gained widespread public attention back in 2021 when entrepreneur Sabrina Peterson spoke out about a past situation involving T.I. during an encounter that reportedly happened in 2009. After her post, several other individuals began sharing their own claims and stories online. Some described situations where they said they felt pressured, intimidated, or treated unfairly during past interactions with the couple in places like California and Georgia. The entire situation quickly became a major topic across social media and entertainment news. According to reports, the conversation first sparked on January 26th when Atlanta entrepreneur Sabrina Peterson posted on Instagram, claiming that during a past disagreement, T.I. had pointed a gun at her head. That post quickly spread across the internet and opened the door to a wave of additional claims and discussions that would soon follow.
Should T.I. have actually kept this conversation private between his son and him after pretty much going against everything his son thought he was doing by standing up for the family and wearing a t-shirt with 50 Cent's deceased mother on the front of it and letting her smoke the joint that he was also enjoying? And T.I. doing what he feels like is a parent, but completely switching sides on his.
After Sabrina Peterson shared her post, the situation quickly exploded across social media. Her message spread fast, and within days, the story was being discussed everywhere online. According to reports, Peterson claimed the incident happened during an argument years earlier and said the moment left a lasting impact on her. The post immediately sparked heated debates, with supporters and critics flooding the comment section. Soon after that first claim went viral, more individuals began stepping forward with their own stories and accusations connected to T.I. and Tameka "Tiny" Harris. Several people said they had uncomfortable experiences with the couple in the past, describing situations where they felt pressured, mistreated, or placed in difficult environments. Many of these claims were shared through social media posts and interviews, which caused the conversation to grow even bigger. As the stories continued to circulate, legal representatives for the couple responded strongly. Attorneys representing T.I. and Tiny denied the accusations and described the claims as false and damaging to their reputation. They insisted the couple had done nothing wrong and said the stories spreading online did not reflect the truth of what happened. The response added another layer of tension to an already explosive situation. Despite the denials, the discussion kept building across blogs, podcasts, and entertainment outlets. Some people questioned the claims, while others demanded deeper investigation into the allegations. The debate quickly turned into one of the biggest celebrity controversies online at the time, with new reactions appearing almost every day. Now, years later, those same controversies are being pulled back into the spotlight again because of the rumored documentary project linked to 50 Cent. If the project actually moves forward, many believe it could revisit these past claims, interviews, and online discussions in detail. That possibility is exactly why the internet is buzzing again, because if cameras start rolling on this story, the entire situation could explode back into headlines all over again. As the controversy kept growing in 2021, the story quickly moved beyond social media and into the legal world. reports began circulating that attorneys representing several individuals had contacted authorities in California and Georgia to share their clients' claims. The situation suddenly shifted from online accusations to a serious legal conversation that drew national attention. Around that time, a lawyer named Tyrone A. Blackburn announced that he was representing multiple people who said they had troubling experiences involving the celebrity couple. According to public reports, letters were sent to law enforcement agencies asking them to review the claims and determine whether any formal investigation should take place. The move brought even more headlines and placed the situation under a brighter spotlight. In response, the legal team representing T.I. and Tiny pushed back strongly against the accusations. Their attorneys released statements saying the claims were completely untrue and unfairly damaging to the couple's reputation. They argued that many of the stories circulating online lacked credible evidence and were being spread without proper verification. The couple continued to firmly deny any wrongdoing, while insisting the accusations were part of a larger attempt to harm their image. At the same time, investigators in different jurisdictions reviewed the information that had been presented to them. Some reports later suggested that certain claims could not move forward due to timing issues connected to older cases. Because of those legal limits, several allegations were reportedly unable to proceed through the courts, which added another complicated layer to the situation. Even with those developments, the conversation around the controversy never fully disappeared. Over the years, the topic continued popping up in interviews, online debates, and entertainment news stories. Now, with 50 Cent hinting at a documentary, many fans believe the entire timeline, from the first accusations to the legal responses, could be revisited in detail. And that possibility is exactly why people are watching this situation so closely right now. If a major documentary actually explores these events, it could reopen a story that has already stirred years of debate, speculation, and non-stop headlines across the entertainment world.
After the situation began gaining attention, Sabrina Peterson continued speaking publicly and sharing stories she said were sent to her by different women. The former family friend claimed that several people had reached out to her describing troubling experiences connected to T.I. and Tameka Tiny Harris. According to Peterson, these stories stretched across many years and involved claims that the couple placed people in uncomfortable and pressured situations during private gatherings. As the conversation spread online, the number of voices speaking up appeared to grow. Peterson said she had received messages from more than 30 women, and she began sharing summaries of some of those stories through her Instagram account in January 2021. Not long after that, reports surfaced that 11 individuals were exploring legal action connected to the claims being discussed online. Then, on April 1, 2 additional women reportedly came forward with accusations involving events they said happened years earlier. Their claims described situations where they believed they had been mistreated or placed in unsafe environments during interactions with the celebrity couple. The timing of these claims added even more attention to an already intense story. Around the same period, a lawyer representing several of the accusers sent a letter to federal and state authorities in Georgia and California requesting that the claims be reviewed. The letter described a range of serious allegations said to have taken place between 2005 and 2018, which quickly drew major headlines across entertainment media. As the online conversation exploded, reports stated that the Los Angeles Police Department opened a review into some of the claims. The situation became one of the most talked about celebrity controversies at the time. Meanwhile, T.I. and Tiny firmly denied all accusations. T.I. addressed the situation in a video posted on Instagram, where he told viewers that any past interactions they had with others involved consenting adults, and that the accusations being spread online did not reflect the truth of their experiences. T.I. strongly pushed back against the accusations during his Instagram response. In the video, he firmly denied the claims and told viewers that none of the stories being shared matched his reality. He said, "Who into what we into and like what we like? We ain't never forced nobody. We ain't never drugged nobody against their will. We ain't never held nobody against their will. We never made nobody do anything." His message was direct and made it clear he rejected the accusations completely.
Tiny Harris also spoke out shortly after the first wave of claims began circulating. Responding to Sabrina Peterson's posts, Tiny defended her husband and shared screenshots showing earlier messages where Peterson had spoken positively about T.I. In her response, Tiny wrote, "Hold up, so you want your abuser to train your sons? He was just uncle." She then questioned the timeline of the accusations, adding, "Now, when did you say my husband assaulted you? Did you change your mind or change it back?" Tiny ended her message with a strong statement directed at Peterson. She wrote, "Stop harassing my family. You strange. Please get help, but leave us alone." Her response quickly spread across social media, adding even more attention to the situation. Meanwhile, the couple's attorney released a formal statement defending them. The statement said Mr. and Mrs. Harris strongly and emphatically denied the accusations, calling the claims deeply damaging. According to the attorney, the Harrises had experienced issues with Peterson for many years and were prepared to take legal action if the accusations continued spreading. Regarding legal developments, prosecutors later stated they declined to file charges connected to a reported 2005 incident in Los Angeles County, explaining that the matter fell outside the legal time window required to pursue the case. That update became another major moment in the long-running controversy surrounding the situation.
The accusations connected to the situation were consistently denied by T.I. and Tameka Tiny Harris, and in the end, no criminal charges were filed against the couple. Still, the court of public opinion often works very differently from the court of law. As the wave of headlines and online debates grew, the controversy began affecting their business ventures. One of the biggest impacts came when MTV Entertainment decided to cancel the T.I. and Tiny Friends and Family Hustle reality series on VH1. The show had been popular with viewers, but the growing controversy surrounding the accusations made the network pull the plug. Meanwhile, the legal battle between Sabrina Peterson and the Harris family continued for several years. In one major development, a Los Angeles judge ruled that Peterson would need to pay $96,673 to help cover legal costs the couple accumulated while defending themselves in court. The ruling came after the Harrises successfully filed motions that led to 5 of the 7 claims in Peterson's original lawsuit being dismissed. The legal fight didn't stop there. Peterson later attempted to revive parts of her defamation case, hoping to move the lawsuit forward again. However, Los Angeles Judge Michael Schultz ruled that her request did not meet the legal requirements needed to reopen the complaint. That decision marked another setback in the long-running dispute that had already stretched across several years. So while the legal situation is moved back and forth, the key point remains that no criminal charges were ever filed against T.I. or Tiny, and much of the civil case was dismissed. Even so, the accusations themselves remain part of the public conversation, and that lingering controversy is exactly what many believe 50 Cent could bring back into the spotlight with a documentary. What makes this possibility especially intense is 50 Cent's recent shift into documentary storytelling. After the success of his Netflix project Sean Combs' The Reckoning, which examined the controversies surrounding Sean Combs, many fans now believe he has the platform and experience to produce another explosive investigative series if he chooses to move forward. Over the years, more than 30 women and 1 man have publicly shared accusations involving T.I. and Tiny, describing what they believe was a pattern of troubling behavior during different encounters. The couple has strongly denied every one of those claims from the very beginning, repeatedly stating that the stories being told do not reflect the truth. Their legal team has also pushed back against the accusations, arguing that the claims are unfair and damaging to their reputation. For those who have only recently started following the story, the accusations mentioned in reports include claims about serious misconduct, mistreatment, and alleged illegal activities connected to events that were said to have happened years ago. While none of these claims resulted in criminal charges, they still became a major topic of conversation across social media and entertainment news. And that's exactly why people believe a documentary could spark huge attention again. If 50 Cent were to turn these stories into a full documentary series similar to his previous projects, the public reaction could be massive. Documentaries have a way of bringing old controversies back into the spotlight, especially when they include interviews, timelines, and unseen details.
That's why many fans believe a project like this could create even more discussion than the legal battles themselves. So where do things stand right now? The feud is still very much alive. The rumored documentary hasn't been officially confirmed, but both sides continue making moves in the music world. And recently, 50 Cent decided to respond in a different way, through music. 50 teamed up with Leon Thomas on the track No One Told Us What We're Here For, which serves as the theme song for the upcoming Power Origins prequel series on Starz. The song quickly caught attention because many listeners believe some of the lyrics take direct shots at T.I. and his circle. To make sure people understood the message, 50 Cent even posted a video of the theme song alongside a picture of T.I. and Tiny. The caption he added felt less like promotion and more like a warning, a sign that this long-running feud might be far from over.
In the middle of the online back and forth, 50 Cent dropped a bold warning, posting a message that said, "They gonna learn to leave me alone." The line quickly started trending, and it didn't take long for the Harris camp to react. Within hours, King Harris jumped back into the spotlight with another diss track, showing that he had no plans to stay quiet. After hearing 50 Cent's latest song, King fired back with his third diss record, titled Drop Top. The 21-year-old made it clear he was ready to keep the feud going and prove he could hold his own in the rap battle. The quick response added another chapter to the growing conflict that had already taken over social media timelines. What makes the situation even more interesting is that this isn't the first time 50 Cent has gone back and forth with a rapper's son recently. Earlier in 2026, he also clashed online with Christian King Combs, the son of Sean Diddy Combs. That means 50 now finds himself trading shots with two different artists named King, both connected to legendary figures in hip-hop. Fans online couldn't help but notice the strange coincidence. But when you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, something else stands out.
Your daddy made your mama eat every box in Atlanta. Freak shit, peep shit, keep shit on the low, but everybody knows.
Analysts say this feud shows how rap conflicts are evolving in the modern era. It's no longer just about diss tracks and lyrical battles. Now it's also about documentaries, social media influence, and controlling the public narrative. And that's where 50 Cent's position becomes powerful. He isn't just a rapper anymore, he's a full media mogul. With the Power franchise on Starz, experience producing major documentary projects, and strong connections in film and television, he has the resources to turn a story into a full production if he wants to. That's why fans keep asking the same question: was the documentary talk real or just another master move in 50 Cent's trolling playbook? Even though the original post disappeared, the speculation hasn't slowed down at all. People are still wondering whether the project will actually happen or if the internet just witnessed another perfectly timed provocation. Another issue people have raised is the legal risk that could come with a documentary like this, because many of the accusations connected to the situation never led to criminal charges. Releasing a film that revisits those claims could potentially create serious legal pushback. Projects that focus on controversial accusations often walk a very thin line, especially when the people involved strongly deny the claims. There's also another angle some observers have pointed out. If a documentary starts digging deeply into the past controversies of T.I. and Tameka Harris, it could also lead to people revisiting 50 Cent's own past disputes and accusations. Over the years, the rapper and media mogul has also faced criticism and controversy connected to personal conflicts and legal issues, so a project that shines a spotlight on one side could easily spark new conversations about everyone involved. But anyone who has followed 50 Cent's career knows he rarely backs away from conflict. His reputation has long been built on confronting rivals head-on and using whatever strategy keeps him in control of the conversation. Whether that means music, social media posts, or major TV productions, he has never been afraid to stir the pot and deal with the fallout later. Meanwhile, T.I. shared his own perspective during an interview on the Ebro and Laura Rosenberg show. Speaking about the tension, he explained that he tries to approach situations based on how people treat him. He said, "I'm real big on treating other people the way I want to be treated,
And I'm also real big on treating people the way they decide they gonna treat me. T.I. also addressed the silence from 50 Cent during certain parts of the conflict, suggesting things might have been different if that same quiet approach had been used earlier. He added that his focus has never been about attacking others, but about protecting his family. As he explained, "I wasn't here to defeat, I was here to defend." And that message really sums up where things stand right now. Despite the online drama, the diss tracks, and the rumors of a documentary, T.I. says his main priority remains standing with his family and protecting the people closest to him.
At this point, T.I. has made it clear that he sees the feud as old news, saying his only goal was to stand up for his family when things turned personal. From his perspective, the situation stopped being about music a long time ago. Instead, it became about protecting the people closest to him when their names were brought into the spotlight. Meanwhile, 50 Cent has taken a very different approach. Rather than constantly responding through songs or interviews, he has mostly stayed active on Instagram, posting messages, deleting them later, and letting the internet spread the screenshots everywhere. That tactic has kept the conversation alive without him needing to say much at all. While that's happening, the rest of the Harris family has stayed involved in different ways. King Harris continues dropping diss tracks, showing he's ready to keep the rap battle going. Damani Harris has also stepped into the musical side of the conflict. And through all the noise, Tameka Tiny Harris has remained publicly silent, choosing not to comment on the feud despite being mentioned in the online drama. So the real question now isn't whether 50 Cent will release a documentary tomorrow. The bigger question is whether the idea of that documentary has already achieved exactly what he wanted, because that's often how 50 operates. Sometimes the suggestion alone is enough to shift the entire conversation. Think about it. Instead of people talking about T.I.'s music, his comeback, or his retirement album, Kill the King, the discussion is shifted back to controversies from 2021 that many people had stopped focusing on. The attention has completely changed direction. What originally started as a simple versus debate between two rap legends has now turned into something much bigger. Families got involved, diss tracks started flying, old controversies resurfaced, and rumors of a documentary added even more pressure to the situation. As of now, nothing about the rumored documentary is officially confirmed. There's no network announcement, no release date, and no official production details. In fact, the entire rumor started from a single Instagram post that 50 Cent eventually deleted. But that's exactly why many people say his strategy works so well. He plants the seed, lets the internet water it, and then watches the story grow on its own. And right now, that story is still spreading everywhere online. And that leaves the entire hip-hop world watching closely to see what happens next. Right now, the situation between 50 Cent and T.I. sits in a strange place where nothing is fully resolved, but the tension is still hanging in the air. The music, the online posts, and the rumors about a documentary have all blended together into one of the most talked about rivalries of the moment. One thing that makes this conflict different from old-school rap feuds is how social media now drives the entire narrative. Years ago, artists mainly battled through songs, interviews, and radio appearances. Today, one Instagram post or a short clip can send millions of people into debate within minutes. That's exactly what happened here. A single post hinting at a documentary was enough to restart a conversation that had mostly faded from the headlines. Another major factor is 50 Cent's growing influence outside of music. Over the past decade, he has built a powerful presence in television and film production. With the success of the Power franchise, multiple television deals, and his recent work producing documentary projects, he now operates in a completely different lane than many traditional rappers. That means when he hints at a project, people take it seriously because he actually has the resources to make it happen. On the other side, T.I. still holds a strong legacy in hip-hop, especially as one of the artists who helped bring Atlanta's trap sound into the mainstream. Even though he has talked about stepping back from music, his influence on the genre remains huge. That's why this conflict continues to attract attention. It's not just two random artists arguing online. It's two major figures with long histories in the culture. For now, fans are left watching every move. Will 50 Cent actually move forward with a documentary? Will the diss tracks continue? Or will both sides eventually decide the situation has gone far enough?
At the moment, there are more questions than answers. But one thing is certain, whenever 50 Cent and T.I. end up in the same conversation, the internet never stays quiet for long. As the situation continues unfolding, many fans are beginning to ask an even bigger question. Was this entire moment part of a larger strategy? In the modern entertainment world, attention can be just as powerful as any song or album release, and few people understand how to control attention online better than 50 Cent. For years, the rapper turned producer has mastered the art of using social media to keep himself in the center of the conversation. A single post, a meme, or a short caption can instantly send blogs, podcasts, and fans into a frenzy. That pattern has played out many times before, and it seems to be happening again right now. By simply hinting at a documentary, 50 Cent managed to pull several different storylines back into the spotlight all at once. Suddenly, people weren't just talking about music anymore. They were discussing old rivalries, past controversies, family reactions, and the possibility of a major documentary project. One small spark created a massive wave of conversation. At the same time, T.I. has tried to frame the situation in a completely different way. In his view, the conflict isn't about publicity or entertainment. He has repeatedly said that his responses came from a place of defending his family after they were pulled into the feud. That difference in perspective is part of what keeps the story so complicated. Then there's the role of the next generation, with King Harris and Damani Harris stepping into the spotlight through diss tracks and public reactions. The feud is taking on a new layer that fans didn't expect. Instead of staying between two veteran artists, the situation suddenly involved an entire family dynamic, which made the conversation even more intense online. And that's why this story continues to evolve day by day. The music industry has changed, the media landscape has changed, and the way conflicts unfold in public has changed too. Today, a rivalry can spread through songs, interviews, live streams, memes, and even the possibility of documentary storytelling. For now, the rumored documentary remains a mystery, but whether it ever gets produced or not, one thing is already clear. The conversation it sparked has already become one of the most talked about moments in hip-hop this year. Whether the documentary ever actually happens or not, one thing is already clear. The conversation around T.I. and Tameka Tiny Harris has completely shifted. The moment the idea of that project hit the internet, it pulled years of controversy back into the spotlight. And now, the Harris family is stuck in a situation with no simple ending. If they ignore the rumors, people will continue speculating about what 50 Cent might reveal. If they respond directly, it could bring even more attention to the story. And if a documentary does eventually appear, it could reopen accusations that the couple has spent years denying and addressing through legal channels. That kind of spotlight can bring old debates right back to the front page. For Tiny Harris, the situation is especially complicated. She became part of the feud not because of something she said during the conflict, but because her name and image were pulled into the battle between two rap veterans. Since then, she has faced online criticism, jokes, and constant discussion about her personal life. Her son stepped into the conflict to defend her, while the rumors of a documentary continue to hang over the entire family. Even the rumored title of the project says a lot: Surviving T.I. and Tiny. Not just one name, but both together. That kind of title frames them as a unit, and that matters because their public image has always been built around that partnership. Through their music, their television shows, and their family brand, they have always presented themselves as a team. Seeing that unit connected to a project like this naturally carries huge weight. Whether 50 Cent is simply stirring the pot or actually planning a major documentary, the ripple effect has already happened. Headlines have shifted, old controversies are trending again, and even T.I.'s retirement album, Kill the King, has been overshadowed by the drama surrounding this feud. Right now, neither side looks ready to back down anytime soon. The music, the online posts, and the speculation are all still unfolding, and fans everywhere are watching closely to see what happens next. And now, we want to hear from you. Do you think the documentary will actually happen, or is this just another master move in 50 Cent's trolling playbook? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who follows hip-hop news. And don't forget to comment your opinion, because the conversation is just getting started.